The wind picks up every time I hit record, guys. Every single time.
NoobNugs.
Ladies, I'm Bonnie, one of your Florida State representatives, and welcome to NoobNugs. This is a series where we answer questions for all of our new Jeep sisters about everything Jeep lifestyle. I can't believe it. This is episode number 30 of NoobNugs. Number 30! And to celebrate number 30, we're answering a question that I received at our email address, noobnugs@ladyjeepers.com. This question is from Colleen, and she asks, how do I store items when I'm running topless? Well, Colleen, today on NoobNugs, we have some answers for you. Running doorless and topless does present some challenges when it comes to bringing items with you. So the most important place to begin is deciding exactly what items you really need to have with you. Are you just running around your neighborhood? Are you going out on a trail? Are you going to the beach? Depending on where you're going, you're gonna have to think about what do you really need to bring with you, so you're bringing as little as possible. We all know Jeeps, very little storage space, and you've got to be creative. When thinking about where you're going to store your personal belongings, start in the front. Because it's the most accessible to you, there are certain things you have to have with you and accessible at all times. For example, your wallet. Gotta have access to that. So don't forget you have a center console. This console, typically speaking, is going to be a locking console. I have been putting personal items in there and locking them up. We're here on the passenger side of my Jeep to show you the new bag I've put in here. This is great for when your passenger decides to wear a ball cap and then realizes it's gonna fly away. Believe it or not, a lot of stuff fits in here, like a ball cap and other items like wallets and personal belongings that come out of your pockets. Because again, if your pockets aren't zipping up, chances are things could fall out the side of your pockets, and you don't want that to happen. Coming to the rear portion of the Jeep, I have MOLLE panels, so I keep MOLLE bags, and those are really great to store items. These cannot be expensive items. You're wide open here. You don't want to give anybody the opportunity to steal things from you. But first aid kits, still accessible. I've also added a bag right here in the center. The bag is from Bartact, between the two front seats. That's where now my sunscreen goes and a hairbrush goes and hair ties go. In this situation, zip ties and MOLLE panels can be your best friends because you're getting added storage space if you have MOLLE panels installed. Now the back of the Jeep is where it gets very interesting. I have a 4-door, so I have a lot of cargo area back here. Essentially, I've got a full-size trunk, give or take a couple inches. There's a storage space here that we don't really talk about, and I guarantee I'm gonna forget about 100% of the time. Your pull-up wheel well. This is where you would be storing your bolts for your doors when they come off. As you can see, mine are in there. But also, it's a great storage space. I will often keep a sweatshirt in there in case I get a little chilly. I've got it with me if I decided to go topless at a time where I didn't think about bringing a jacket. I keep various items back here, basically anything that will fit. The most important thing to remember about this little area is that once it's covered, and so you'll have to take everything out to get access to it. I love this little space. It's a great place to store sweatshirts and jackets, umbrellas if you need, anything that's small that would fly away that will still lay flat when you close this. I also have installed the Tuffy security lockbox. When I first got my Jeep, this was really important to me to have immediately a place to lock things up. And the great thing about the Tuffy security lockbox is it also acts as a tailgate table. It's kind of empty right now because I just cleaned it out for a different trip. But things that always stay in here, typically speaking, are items that I want to keep with the Jeep at all times. I usually have toilet paper in here too. I just took it out for my last trip because we needed it. Little things, again, that will fly away, but I usually want to keep with the Jeep. So it's like the one place I can actually put like magnets, like my magnetic Lady Jeepers koozie. This is the part that most people are going to have questions about. How do you lock things up back here? How do you keep your items secure? Number one, use bags with zippers. It is the easiest way to keep your items secure. I have to be honest with you, I drive this probably faster than I should. I can roll down the road doing 75, 80, not necessarily with the doors off because that's a little uncomfortable. And nothing moves back here. That doesn't mean you leave things just lying out there, right? The fastest way to deal with that is bags that zip up. Now let's say you're going out to a trail ride where you need to be able to bring your recovery gear with you. Maybe you're at a big Jeep event where everyone takes doors off, everyone takes tops off, but you want to keep your very expensive recovery gear secure. This is my new favorite thing. I got this for Jeep Jam specifically because I knew I'd want to be able to take everything off, but I also knew I wasn't trying to let somebody walk off with my stuff. Its official name is Sportsman Trunk. We have holes drilled in right here. We got a really long cable wire Locky Thing from Master Lock, and that's its official name, Locky Thing, and 2 locks. These locks fit through those holes. On the opposite side that I can't reach, one goes through just to lock the top. This lock goes through here and locks it in. This is fantastic. No one's coming through. An ounce of prevention for a pound of cure. Back here, you'll also see I have my power tank. That is actually mounted to the Jeep. That can't go anywhere, but there's a lock on that too. Again, very expensive items that you don't want to see walking away, and it doesn't take a lot to discourage people. You just have to be a little creative in figuring out how to lock things in. I also have one additional molly panel back here. That's where my bungees are stored, because you're gonna need bungees if you're riding like this. For an open cargo area, the next thing I absolutely love to have is cargo netting. My Jeep has the rail system. Use the rail system to your advantage. Cargo netting and carabiners go a long way to securing every single thing you can put in this cargo area. I kind of had to engineer it. My one cargo netting was too big. This one's a little too small. So I weave a bungee through the cargo net and then use my rail system to hold everything down. Absolutely nothing moves. And then you can tuck things into little open areas. Fantastic solution. Now, something else that you have to think about if you're gonna roll like this is what happens if it rains. First of all, check the weather before you go out. That's the flat out easiest way to figure out, do you need to worry about that issue or not? I live in Florida. It's always gonna rain. And so you kind of have to be a little bit flexible. But you also want to think about a cab cover. Some are easier to use than others. Some are multi-purposeful. This one right here is mine. It's a full cab cover one way. When it flips backwards, it's a tailgate tent that will cover this entire area. I haven't mastered it yet, but I could tell the first time I used it, once I figure it out, it's gonna be awesome. Now, there are other options if you wanna get more security. Those can be expensive options. One example, Kristen rolls with the Diabolical Slipstream, which is essentially a metal tonneau cover for the entire cargo area. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Stay tuned for more details. You could also add additional Sportsman's trunks, so that way you've got additional locked areas. All it takes to be secure with the Jeep and traveling doorless and topless is being a little creative and thinking about a strategy to keep all your stuff tamped down. Thanks so much for watching this episode of NoobNugs. Episode 30, I still can't believe it. If you have any questions or any topics you'd like to see covered on NoobNugs, please email noobnugs@ladyjeepers.com. If you'd like to see the previous episode of NoobNugs, please check out my YouTube channel, Cahill Creations. Thanks as always to Lady Jeepers for allowing me the time to share these NoobNugs with you. Remember to live your best Jeep life, topless and doorless, and we'll see you next time.